Yum! I got my big pan here so that I can make my ground meat, my taco meat. I'm gonna go ahead and get my vegetable oil and spray my pan. There we go. Got my other half of my ground meat here. I used my other half on my other dinner that I posted, which was the hamburgers. So this is my other half of my roll here, and I'm going to make my taco meat out of this. Alright, got my ground meat all smashed down in there. And now I'm going to go ahead and add my H-E-B taco seasoning mix. It makes a big difference with your taco meat. If you don't use any seasoning and you just do like salt and pepper, I like that also, but this definitely adds great flavor. It's taco seasoning, so it makes it more like a taco seasoning other than just ground meat flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to my meat right now. Alright, just added that to the top of my meat. Now I'm just going to go ahead and stir it around. Got my seasoning all mixed up in there. Now I'm just going to add a lid to it, keep my heat on 5, and just let that cook. Occasionally I am going to check it, move it around a little bit. Alright, so my ground meat is done. I'm going to go ahead and drain the grease out of it. Alright, taco meat is drained. The range is off, and that ground meat is done. Got my pan here, gonna set my range to 5, which is like medium on my range here. That's the best temperature that I feel like it cooks at. I'm going to get some nonstick spray and spray it. Got my Hill Country Fair nonstick vegetable spray here. Going to just spray my pan. And I'm going to get some vegetable oil. My vegetable oil here, I like to put it in a little bottle so that I can just squeeze it out like that. Got my H-E-B long grain white rice here. I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this rice. Let me go ahead and get a measuring cup so we know exactly the amount of rice that I'm putting. Normally I don't measure, I just pour. So let me get a measuring cup. Okay, so I have my Purex 1 cup measuring cup here. I'm just going to pour some rice so we can see how much rice we're putting. I'm going to just pour the whole bag. It was half the bag, so let's see. That's about maybe like 1.25 cups maybe. Yeah, 1 1/4 I would say rice. And I'm just going to pour my rice into my pan. I'm going to just push that rice around so that it can get all coated with that vegetable oil, so we don't have dry rice, and it can be nice and moisturized. Alright, got that rice mixed up, and I just made a even layer of the rice just so it can brown evenly. I'm going to allow that to brown, and then we'll do the next steps. Alright, my rice is beautiful and brown, or yeah, toasted-ish. I'm going to go ahead and get some water in here, along with my Knorr Caldo de Tomate. This is amazing. I have to have a big container because I use it so often. This is basically the only way that I make Spanish rice is with this stuff, and I will show you how. Alright, in my large cup here, I have 3 cups of water and 2 tablespoons of this seasoning. I just used a tablespoon and plopped it in the water, stirred it around as if I'm making like a drink of some sort with powder. That's just exactly how you're gonna make this stuff right here. And then I'm just gonna pour it in my rice. Pour the whole 3 cups. And I'm going to just move around the rice at the bottom, kind of like scraping the bottom with my spoon here, just a little bit. Then I'm going to go from medium heat to 3. And I'm going to grab a lid and place my lid on top and just let that cook. Now the best way that I make my rice is if I don't touch it much. So just keeping an eye on it, trying not to remove the lid until I know that it's done or almost done. Just leaving it completely alone to avoid having like oatmeal type of rice. Right, when my rice is looking like this, when I can see still some whiteness in the rice, that tells me they're not all the way cooked yet. I'm just going to add just a little bit more water. I have a cup of water here. I'm not going to add the whole cup. I'm just going to add what I feel is a decent amount. So I would say that's probably a good amount. So I used about a little bit more than half a cup, maybe 3/4 of a cup I used. And I'm going to go ahead and just cover it back up, not touching it, not doing anything, just letting it cook. Okay, when my rice looks a little bit more cooked, I'm going to go ahead and turn off my stove, leave the lid on, and remove it from the heat. Alright, gonna go ahead and start my oven to 350, press start, get that preheating for my shells. For my taco shells, I'm going to be using these H-E-B taco shells. They come in 12. And I'm just going to take them out of the packaging and lay them on my baking pan here. Alright, got my shells laid out on my baking pan here. I didn't spray any nonstick spray or anything. I'm just going to get these shells and put them in the oven just for a bit, just so they can get that toasted flavor, other than just being not toasted or cooked or anything. I just like that toasted flavor. Oven is ready. I'm going to go ahead and pop my taco shells in the oven for about 5 minutes. Alright, 5 minutes has passed and I've taken my shells out. They're nice and toasted. I'm not sure if I can see any color change there, but they're definitely hot and toasty. And there we go. I put a little bit of rice on this side, a little bit of rice on that side just to hold the shells, and they look so good.